Speak to the executive director of UNICEF, Henrietta Fore. She joins us now live from New York. Henrietta, thank you for joining us. You were there recently in Cox's Bazar, home to 500,000 stateless Rohingya refugee children. How are they being cared for, and what do they need?
Thank you for asking, and thank you for bringing this up so that the world realizes that this is an ongoing issue. The children in Cox's Bazar have a difficult existence. This is an enormous, enormous camp. More than 700,000 are in it, and more than half are children. There are not regular schools. There's not land to play on. This is a difficult experience for a child. They are built on very dusty hilltops. This is the dry season right now, so the rains have not yet come, but when they come, these will become muddy, sandy slopes. Children are running through it with bare feet. It means that there are health hazards. We worry about the children. We worry about their education. We worry about their health and their nutrition.
It has been 18 months after the exodus from Myanmar, and these children, 500,000 of them, still living in these squalid refugee camps in Bangladesh. UNICEF, your organization, has made a global appeal for aid. You're asking for over $150 million for this year. And so far, you've only received a fraction of that funding. Are you afraid that the world, that the international community has either forgotten or is growing numb to the Rohingya crisis?
Yes, it can be for both reasons. And you are right that often we as a world move on to another crisis. But 700,000 people on the move in a few days is an enormous number of people. These camps have stabilized, but there is not a real solution. So Cox's Bazar, the Rohingya, they're at a crossroads. They need to have a home. They need to be repatriated. They need to have a life. The children need to have real education. We visited some of the learning centers, and we now have education programs up to the 8th grade in science and math and languages, and this is all extremely important. But once it's the age of 15 to 24, you don't see any children enrolled in school. You do not see them enrolled in any activities. So we're going to lose a generation if we don't get them into school and give them a chance for their future life.
You're saying we could lose a generation here. So what's at stake if there's not enough support for these child refugees? What would a lost generation mean for the Rohingya, for Bangladesh, for Myanmar, for the region?
Well, you said it when you just began, which is that this is one of the most discriminated against minorities in the world, and we as a world should try to figure out what a longer-term solution is. It is extremely important that children can grow up with a language, with digital skills, with foundational skills, literacy and numeracy, that they have some vocational skills so they can be productive members of their society. Without that, you really lose the generation. And the Rohingya children are right on the brink of that.
Henrietta, UNICEF, other aid groups on the ground doing such crucial work. Thank you for joining us. Henrietta Fore, Executive Director of UNICEF, joining us live from New York. You're watching Newsstream. We'll be right back.